Oh hey, it's Sabrina. So in this video, I am doing a top 5 Wednesday. I haven't done one of these in so long, but I really liked this topic and I needed an idea for a video, so I thought perfect timing. Anyway, so today's topic is your top 5 books in your collection that you have read that, whether you loved them or hated them, that were just forgettable, books that you cannot remember anything about. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So coming in at number 5 is Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac. Honestly, once I went through my list, I noticed there was a trend here. A lot of the books that I read that are contemporary are really hard for me to remember. For some reason, if they are fantasy or mystery or thriller, even if the stories are similar, I can keep them separate. If they're super enjoyable, I have no problem remembering the characters and the plot lines, but when it comes to contemporary, even if they're very different stories, I just have a hard time remembering. So Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac, yeah, I really don't even remember the main character's name. I had to go to Goodreads to look at the description to see who it is. And I don't know, this book was so hyped and I really just didn't like it that much. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pass and not recommend that one. Coming in at number 4 is Say What You Will by Kelly McGovern. Now, based on my Goodreads rating, I gave it 4 to 5 stars, so I think I really must have enjoyed it. But I don't remember anything about it. It got compared to Rainbow Rowell and Eleanor and Park and John Green, and I don't necessarily agree with that because I remember Fault in the Stars so well. Eleanor and Park was so amazing. This one was just forgettable, and anyway, I liked. Oh, okay, so I remember now. This was the one about the girl who had cerebral palsy and she develops a relationship with a boy and her family's like, you're special, you need to be careful. I mean, it was good, but I barely remember it. Coming in at number 3 is Finding Audrey. I vaguely remember this one. If I remember correctly, it's about a girl who has very severe anxiety problems and she has a hard time like talking to people and making friends, doesn't really have social skills. And so she like meets a boy, whatever, and she gets better. And so I gave this one 4 to 5 stars, so I must have enjoyed it, but I really just barely remember it. Coming in at number 2 is The Ocean at the End of the Lane. I find this really funny because I love Neil Gaiman's writing and I remember really liking this book, but I barely remember what it's about. I know it's super creepy and it's one of those books that everyone that's read it says like it's kind of hard to explain, you just have to read it, but I honestly barely remember it. I remember a little bit of it, like I know there's a lot of flashback between past and present, and yeah, I don't know. I know it was creepy, but honestly, I barely remember it, but it's definitely on my list to read more of Neil Gaiman for this year of 2018. All right, so coming in at number 1, the final book that I barely remember for my top 5 Wednesday is Langley by Rainbow Rowell. I actually do remember this book a little bit, kind of, sort of, but I just really did not like this book, so I had to put it in this list. It was my first read by Rainbow Rowell, and I've only read one other book by her that I actually really loved. So I think my problem with this author is I've read a book that I really loved and I read a book that I really did not like at all. And so I'm kind of like, should I try another one? Will it be another hate book? Will it be another love book? Maybe Landline was just a dud for me, or maybe Eleanor and Park was like the exception to the rule. So anyway, Landline, I was not a fan. I felt like the whole relationship in this book was not relatable. Me being married, I just felt like the main character was really immature and it wasn't an accurate portrayal of what marriage is like. Granted, everyone's relationship is different, but I didn't like this book. I didn't like how it was done and I really disliked the ending. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books and you have the same opinion as me, let me know down below because I'm really curious to see if I'm the only one not on the Rainbow Rowell train. So that is it. I will talk to you very, very soon. And of course, thanks for watching.